New Rock 92.5 The Bear. Everclear father of mine, Jason here.
And Kevin.
And on the phone, you know him from Tough Enough, AJ Kirsch. What's going on, my man?
Oh, hey, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Of course, you are our Lucha Extreme champion, and the event tomorrow night here in Merced, American Legion Hall. And what can we expect from this show, my man?
Well, I hope we can expect a better introduction than that, because word on the street is you're going to be our guest ring announcer. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, yes.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that you actually announce us when we're there, because if that's what we have to expect, then, you may as well just not show up at all. So how about we start over?
Okay.
And this time, you introduce me as the Lucha Extreme World Heavyweight Champion. And put something behind it. Like, all right. Since we don't have any pyro or anything, why don't you put some verbal pyrotechnics behind it? And
I'm actually standing up for you. And I'll grab my balls here.
Man, he doesn't even do this for me.
I don't stand up for anybody.
AJ's AJ's my new...
Are you the Lucha Extreme World Heavyweight Champion?
No, sir, but you're my new best friend.
Oh, well, this is news to me, but that's cool. Okay, so...
All right.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the 92.5 The Bear Airwaves, your Lucha Extreme Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, AJ Kirsch. Is that better?
Better, but work on it. Lucha Extreme World Heavyweight Champion is how it should be.
All right.
But that's okay. This is new. I know you probably haven't been doing this too long, so don't worry about it.
No.
You're doing fine, kid.
I'm a little wet behind the ears. I'm a young pup, What are you going to do?
That's okay. We'll groom you.
All right, so coming to Merced, what kind of a match are you going to have that night, AJ?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I get there, and it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I sometimes I don't even know who it is until I actually get in the ring. But, I'm not the Lucha Extreme World Heavyweight Champion for nothing. They can put me in there with anybody, and as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be an easy night, no matter what. Yeah,
well, I guess that's good. Goes along with being the heavyweight champion, and very well experienced. I do want to talk with you here in a little bit about some crossing of paths. We're going to get back into some rock, but including where you started training in wrestling, and how I may have actually... hung out in the same bar as you, but without all the girls. So we'll.
Yeah, well, you could just give a look to where all the girls were headed, and you would have known it was me.
We've got AJ Kirsch, the heavyweight champion for Lucha Extreme, on the phone with us right now. We're going to jump back into the rock. It's Imagine Dragons and Radioactive on New Rock 92.5 The Bear. New Rock 92.5 The Bear, Paramore and Misery Business. Kevin and Jason here, and we've got a special guest on the phone, Kevin.
We do, AJ Kirsch.
The heavyweight champion for Lucha Extreme tomorrow night, right here in Merced. TV taping. The champ's going to bring it, and he's honored us by hanging out today, which is really cool, man.
Oh, well, thanks. Thanks for having me on. What a treat for you guys to have me on your show.
Yes, it is. So, AJ, let's talk about pro wrestling. Why'd you start, man? What was the thing that said that this is what I want to do and dedicate my life to?
Just kind of flipping through channels when I was 12 years old. I remember exactly what it was. It was an episode of Monday Night Raw in the spring of 1996. And I'd been a casual fan in the heyday of the late 80s, early 90s, during... Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man and all those guys were at their peak, their most popular. And, I hadn't watched wrestling in a while, so I figured I'd check it out. And I don't know what it was, but something just absolutely captivated me. And it was right around the time that Shawn Michaels was involved with his boyhood dream, and that whole storyline was coming to fruition. And he happened to be 12 when he got the bug. And it was just something that really drew me in. And it wasn't long until... what started as a passion became an obsession, and I decided that I was going to give this damn pro wrestling thing a shot. And so far, it's working out pretty well for me.
Yes, it is. Okay, so you went on, you got yourself a college degree up at Chico,
Chico State. Oh, I had my fun.
What is that? I couldn't think of it. There's that one bar that everybody goes to that's huge. It's got the cool back pit outside. It's got like two different sides of the bar. They sometimes have live bands in there.
Oh, yeah. I do believe you are referring to Madison Bear Garden.
That is it. That is it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, where have I been drunk up there? Oh, yeah.
Well, if you're partying in Chico and the question is, where have I been drunk up there? The answer is everywhere.
This is true. This is actually very true. So you get your degree. Where's the point in which you start training? Because you started training out in the Bay Area, actually, with Roland, All Pro Wrestling, which I had gone there several times and watched some of their shows in the past. How did that? Was
actually,
the catalyst? What was it?
I don't mean to. Actually, I do mean to correct you. I
Correct
actually
me.
trained at a school in Yuba City.
Oh, really?
Called Pro Championship Wrestling. As I was going to Chico State getting my degree, I was also commuting to Yuba City 3 days a week, going to wrestling school. A lot of people don't realize that there's actually a school that you go to and you learn how to fall, or in wrestling lingo, take a bump. You learn how to conduct yourself backstage. You learn how to do the moves. You learn how to, conduct yourself in and out of the ring, because what you see in the ring is just a small fraction of this crazy business that we call professional wrestling.
Yeah, people just genuinely do not understand. I know myself, I have fallen in a ring, just simply crossed my arms over, fallen backwards, and they don't realize how much that is a big jolt in itself.
Oh my God. I remember the very first time I took a bump, and the second the wind left my lungs, I was like, do I really want to keep doing this? And, even though I was more sore the following day than I'd ever been in my life, I kept coming back because I was not going to be denied.
That's very cool. Well, we want to talk more with AJ Kirsch here, the Lucha Extreme heavyweight champion.
World heavyweight champion.
World heavyweight champion.
Get it right, Jason.
So thanks, Kevin. So now I got two people giving me a hard time.
That's right. He's the
You're probably going to
heavyweight
need 5 or
world
6
champion of the
tomorrow
world.
night.
What's that?
Of the world.
Of the world.
Of the world.
Well, Kevin, you can come in the ring and constantly remind me, okay?
I will.
All right.
We'll get you some cue cards for tomorrow night.
That's right.
Perfect. Well, I'm dyslexic, so I'm bound to mess that up. So, anyways, here's some music. It's Madness on New Rock 92.5 The Bear. 311 all mixed up on New Rock 92.5 The Bear. And since Kevin's been giving me so much crap, guess what, Kevin? You get to introduce our prestigious guest. Go ahead.
I get to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why do I get to?
Because you're giving me a hard time.
No pressure, bro. No pressure.
Now that's a lot of pressure.
Right. See, now he sees how hard it is. On the phone with us, Lucha Extreme World Heavyweight Champion, the one, the only, AJ Kirsch.
See, that wasn't that bad this time. You're getting better all the time. There may be hope for you yet tomorrow night.
See, you're doing it live. I'm just sitting here behind the mic listening.
You can interject anyways. Let's get back to the real important person here.
That's
AJ,
right.
Yes.
Let's talk about your experience with Tough Enough. Of course, some people have a perception of the show that you come in, no experience, but you'd already been wrestling near half a decade at that point, correct?
Yeah, I did come in with quite a bit of experience, actually, compared to a lot of other people on the show. Some of the guys on the show have had, Matt Cross, for example. He came in with, I think, over a decade of experience. He's been a world-traveled independent wrestler, but we had some people on that show who never been in a wrestling ring in their life. So it was fascinating to watch how quickly people learned, or how quickly it became apparent that they just couldn't get it.
Right. Did you find that insulting at all? As somebody that's gone, you trained hard, you've done the weekends of driving from one event to the next, making nothing or next to nothing, or did you just kind of accept that, hey, this is the scenario and this is the competition as is? Who cares what the background is?
Yeah, it's a reality show. I mean, I wasn't too worried about it, because eventually the people with no experience are going to be. I mean, it's going to hurt them one way or the other. It's going to come back to bite them, and it did. A lot of the people who didn't have experience, their bodies either didn't hold up, or they ended up quitting, or whatever the case was. If they didn't know what they were doing in there, everybody watching Tough Enough saw it.
So was it for the outsider that doesn't realize the amount of the ratio, and what I mean by that for people listening is the amount of what footage is shot to what actually makes it into a final edit.
Yeah.
More reality show or more wrestling show?
A reality show about wrestling.
Okay.
Is how I'd categorize Tough Enough. Man, they probably had close to a dozen cameras rolling the entire time. If there was anything going on, if we were around the trainers at all, or if this was a field trip or a challenge or whatever the case was, there were a ton of cameras rolling. So to go through, I do not envy the person that had to go through all those hours, all those different angles, and decide what angle to use and when to cut and which camera to cut to.
Right.
That must just be one of the most tedious processes that I've ever encountered.
I bet. Favorite fellow star on the show, least favorite fellow star on the show, contestant?
Eric Watts. Big Eric and I have become good friends on and since the show. And let's see, Luke Robinson was just about as much of an ass as he was on the show. I mean, there was no difference between the Luke when the camera was off and the Luke when the camera was on. So, yeah, I was not a big fan of his. He actually, a lot of the contestants and I haven't really kept in contact since. But, yeah, that's me and Eric, and to a lesser extent, Martin Casals, the guy who had to leave because of his broken ankle.
Right.
We've stayed in pretty close contact as well.
Oh, very cool. And now, as far as the trainers, of course, it's very apparent, Steve Austin, all of them with a tremendous amount of experience, everyone from Trish Stratus to Stone Cold Steve Austin, all the guest ones. Who was one of your favorite individuals to learn, one of the legends to work with throughout the show?
Well, right off the bat, Steve Austin was always... I can't say enough good things about Steve as a trainer and also just as a host. Like, you were talking about how much footage is actually shot to what you actually see. Those elimination sequences look like they took maybe 5 minutes.
Right.
But in reality, they took close to an hour. And a great deal of that was just the bottom three standing in the ring with no music. There's no music playing in the background. There's no sound. There's nothing. And Steve is just pacing back and forth, just putting the fear of God in us. It was probably definitely the longest and most arduous portion of Tough Enough shoot that I can remember.
So it's kind of like going to the clinic and waiting to see what the blood tests come back as. Whew, escaped another night. Thank God.
Yeah,
I'm fine. Let's do it again Friday.
Sounds like you've got a little bit more experience in that field than I do, but that's a whole different interview.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I'm a family man. I'm married. Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good deal. Now, is there any stories that you might have about anybody that did not make the show? As far as some of the legendary trainers that were on the show?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, again, whenever there was anything going on at all, like whether it was the dead of the night and everybody was asleep or whatever the case was, there was always a camera going.
Right.
And, they captured every noteworthy moment from Tough Enough. So if you saw it, actually, no, one does come to mind. They did not show this. John Cena was one of the first guests that we had. And after he talked to us when we were down in the training facility, we sat down to dinner, this huge table, and we had barbecued steaks and veggies and potatoes, and it was just this amazing feast. And on one end of the table, you had John Cena, and at the other end of the table, you had Steve Austin. Wow. So to sit down with steaks with John Cena and Steve Austin was just one of those moments where I had to remind myself out loud that I wasn't dreaming. It was surreal.
That is awesome. That's really cool. Well, we've got more with AJ Kirsch, the world heavyweight champion for Lucha Extreme, coming up as well. We'll even pull out his special request here in just a few.
Oh, yeah. Bro.
On New Rock 92.5 The Bear. New Rock 92.5 The Bear, Nickelback, and Rockstar.
Oh, I love that song, bro. And by the way, Nickelback has all these haters out there. I think they just hate Nickelback because they're ruling the rock world right now. So I appreciate you throwing me that request. And, love me my Nickelback, bro. Love it.
Right on. Well, actually, AJ, myself, and Kevin, my host here, we actually agree with you on that. We've seen them several times.
Yes.
Met the guys, and they're nothing but cordial and put on one hell of a rock show. Plus, excellent pyro, which you could never go wrong with.
Fantastic pyro. Right. Seriously, one of the best shows I've ever seen. Like, they put on a good show. I don't care what you say. And everybody knows at least one Nickelback song.
This is true. Well, we are on the phone with Lucha Extreme World Heavyweight Champion AJ Kirsch. And
Yeah.
you could come see him in the Squared Circle tomorrow night right here in Merced at our one and only Vets Hall on Main Street. Doors open at 6:30 unless you bought those advanced tickets, those VIP tickets for $25 where you're going to get in early and meet the stars of Lucha Extreme.
Yeah, get those early tickets, people. That place is gonna get packed and early.
That's right. And of course, while we're going to be out there, I will be the guest ring announcer, which is a true honor because it's going to be televised.
Televised, people, and if you can't make it Saturday night, Lucha Extreme is all over your TV. You can catch us Saturday nights at 9 p.m. on my network, KAIL 7.1, Comcast 13 or 713 on HD, Dish, Direct, and AT&T Uverse 53. You cannot miss Lucha Extreme, but there is nothing like a live TV taping experience, so I expect to see each and every one of you tomorrow night.
Let's thank our guest here.
Yes, thank you.
World Heavyweight Champion for
Thank
Lucha
you, guys.
Extreme, the one, the only AJ Kirsch. Make sure you guys go like Lucha Extreme on your Facebook, Twitter. Also follow AJ as well. Keep up with him as he continues to climb the ladder in professional wrestling, and really looking forward to seeing you in ring.
Well, I'm looking forward to you not messing up my introduction, bro.
I am going to go home and I am going to work on it all damn night.
You stand in front of that mirror and you practice until you have it memorized.
I will. I promise. That is my
Perfect.
promise to you.
It's on the air. Everybody heard it. You
I
have
heard
to
it.
live up to it.
And I know that I will have to, because if I don't, everybody will call and give me crap. I guarantee it.
I'll give
And I will beat the hell out of you. Let's not forget that.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, AJ, we greatly appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.